Hi, I'm Matthew Pearson from Zone 1 Hearing. Today I'd like to talk to you about when and why you should change your hearing aid wax filter. This is a story that I've shared with a number of my patients and I think has really helped them understand the importance of changing their wax filters, so I'll share this with you now. About 25 years ago, I was in a car dealership up in Lincolnshire and got into a conversation with a vehicle technician. He was looking rather bemused, so asked him what was wrong. He was telling me that a lady had had a car towed in, it had completely seized and ground to a halt. And what had happened was he'd been having a conversation with her about her servicing. So initially, having looked in the glove box where you'd normally find the book with the stamps from the dealer, he couldn't find that, so he asked her if she had any receipts, and she was a bit puzzled and said, receipts for what? So he explained that as she didn't have the dealer stamps, he'd assumed that she'd had it serviced elsewhere. No, she said, I've just put petrol in it and driven it and it suddenly stopped. Now, this lady had done nearly 60,000 miles and other than putting fuel in, had never done anything to the car. So as you can imagine, not the best way to treat your vehicle. But funnily enough, this is often the way people use their hearing aids. What they will do is they'll wear them and wear them and wear them, and eventually the hearing aid will stop working, and they may then either go to their audiologist or hearing care professional and ask them for some help, or they might change the wax filter themselves. Now, this really isn't the best way to do this, so let me share with you my method for maintaining your hearing aids. So what I would do is on a monthly basis, and I advise doing this on the 1st of every month, I would change your wax filter. Now this is the wax filter here, this little white gauze sort of membrane here. So if you were to change that on the 1st of every month, you'll probably find that your hearing aid is pretty much trouble-free in terms of how it runs. Now, a second thing I would advise, and not all manufacturers send these out, but this is a really good idea, to use a cleaning brush, and every morning prior to wearing your hearing aid, to take the cleaning brush and simply brush over the filter to try and shake loose any wax or any dead skin that might have accumulated there from the previous day's use. Now, a lot of people will ask me, well, Matthew, my hearing aid doesn't appear to be blocked. Do I need to do this? Or do I indeed need to change the filter if it sort of carries on working afterwards? Now, my advice to those people is still yes, I would change it on the 1st of every month. And the reason for this is the fact that we call it a wax filter isn't a great description. So I had a conversation with a chap from one of the hearing aid manufacturers called James. He works for Starkey, and he was explaining that because the ear produces not just wax but dead skin, moisture and humidity, of course the filter can appear clear but actually be completely saturated, and that debris from the ear could be getting through and sort of causing damage to the speaker. So I agree, this is a great piece of advice. So even if you have the appearance of a clear filter, still change it on the 1st of every month, still brush it every morning. Why every morning? Because anything that's gotten on there will have dried out, so it'll be easier to clean off than cleaning it the night before. So if you do these steps, you should have a much more reliable hearing aid. So a couple of other illustrations and points I'll make. It's a guideline 1 month. You may need to go for, say, a shorter time span, say maybe every couple of weeks. Did have a chap a few years ago who called the office I was working for and asked me to come and see him. His hearing aid had failed, so he was asked the normal questions. Have you tried a battery? Have you tried a new filter? He said definitely not the filter, so I went to visit with him. When I checked, he'd had the same filter in there 28 days, but because of this 1 month time scale in his mind, it wasn't going to need changing for a couple more days. So as you can imagine, once we changed the filter, the hearing aid was absolutely fine. So again, with that 1 month thing, treat it as a guideline. Another thing is, I had a chap the other day who was cleaning his hearing aids, not with a cleaning brush, but was poking any wax and dead skin out with a pin. Now, this isn't a great way to maintain the hearing aid. It is a sort of a little basket that captures this debris. Of course, if you poke through it, you're going to cause that debris to enter in and potentially damage the speaker. So only use a cleaning brush to clean your wax filter and change it regularly. They would be my two sort of key pieces of advice. And another way of just knowing that your hearing aid's working correctly is this. If you, as I've seen a lot of people do, have their hearing aid behind their ear and brush their finger over the mic, you can hear a bit of a rustling sound from the mic, so that could indicate that the aid's working. But what it doesn't do is tell you if the whole aid's working, it tells you if the battery's working. Now, if you were to close up a hearing aid, just give it a few seconds to sort of get up and running. A really great way of testing if the whole aid is working is to get the hearing aid in the hand, give it a bit of an open and a close. You'll probably hear that horrible whistly, whiny noise, feedback. What we know now is we've got a functioning hearing aid, so we're okay to pop that on and to use it. So just to, again, reiterate the point about the regular change, if you don't change your filter, you may need to change the speaker. Now, doing that on a receiver in the canal aid, not too difficult. On some models, you can simply pull that out and pop a new speaker in, but you've got the inconvenience of having to visit your audiologist or purchasing a new speaker. Now, where this gets sort of less convenient still is if you've got an IT, an in-ear hearing aid. The problem with this is it's likely to go wrong when you least need it, say just before Christmas or before an important meeting or a wedding. If that's the case, your hearing aid is going to be away for several days, possibly even 2-3 weeks while that's getting fixed. Because with a speaker in an in-ear hearing aid, your audiologist will probably not be able to repair that in-house, and it will need to go back to the manufacturer to be repaired. So again, really important that you do clean and maintain your hearing aids and change the filter on a regular basis. So I hope this has been helpful for you. What I'd like to do is extend a little offer from ourselves to you guys. If you live in the London area and you don't have a cleaning brush, if you go to the link below for our website, you can go onto the contact page, pop us over your details, request one of these brushes. We're happy to send you one of those out free of charge so you can start incorporating that into your regular maintenance routine. And what we'd also like you to do, usual request, what we'd like is a share of our video, for you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our channel, to like the video, and any comments you've got, any questions, please put those in the comments section below. Any ideas for new videos you've got, we'd love to hear them. That's where a lot of the great ideas come for our videos on this channel. So what I'd like to do is wish you a fantastic rest of your day. This is Matthew Pearson from Zone 1 Hearing.